Hey, this is Rich Taylor with TransWorld Motocross. We're out here riding the 2013 KTM 450. We're really happy with this bike, actually. We've been riding the Dungey replica for, man, it seems like about 4 months now. And the bike was such a huge improvement over last year's KTM 450. And you know, they did all kinds of trick stuff to the Dungey replica. What we were really stoked about is the actual 2013 model is every bit as good as the Dungey, with actually some better parts on it, really. You know, they've updated the fuel injector, some filters in the fuel system so that, you know, they had a couple issues last year where the fuel injector would get clogged, and they've kind of fixed that on the 2013 model. One thing they did do is they went to a little bit of a different pipe muffler system that kind of meets all the AMA and FIM sound requirements. The Dungey replica one came with a straight pipe that actually worked really well. But everything else kind of feels the same. The bike is strong off the bottom, pulls hard through the mid. Over rev is amazing on the bike. They've changed a little bit of the mapping compared to that Dungey model that actually helped a ton. Suspension, you know, it's pretty cool because KTM has a test team here in the United States that rides on our US tracks. Our US tracks, as you know, are a lot different than, you know, the European ones or the Japanese ones. We require different settings, man, and KTM has kind of gone that direction, and they've listened to their test riders, and the suspension right out of the box is pretty close. I mean, everybody's different, everyone's gonna feel something different, but they're pretty close right out of the box. We were pretty happy with it. Component-wise, you know, the new bars, the new bar bend is really, really nice. It's a Renthal bar bend, new grips, the hydraulic clutch you can't beat, especially on a 450, you know. The average guy is holding on to the 450 with white knuckles. It doesn't matter what brand it is, and usually clutching it to keep the front end down. The clutch is really important on a 450, and the hydraulic clutch, the component that KTM uses, just seems to work really good. It doesn't fade. I personally rode a KTM 450 last year, pretty much all year, and I'm gnarly on the clutch, and I never had one issue. Didn't change one clutch plate all year, so I can attest to it being definitely a good clutch for sure. Another thing we changed today that actually was huge was gearing. The bike comes with a 1452. It feels like third gear just needs a little bit more. I wanted to run third gear out of a lot of the tighter corners and leave it in third more, and it just quite wouldn't pull it. We actually went to a 1350, which is what a lot of, you know, Dungey I think uses that gearing a lot, and it helped tremendously. It just allowed you to carry third gear almost everywhere, even in the tight corners. You know, the super tight ones you could shift down to second and it would still let it rev far enough that you didn't have to short shift it. But then third gear just had that snap and that pull. It made it a huge difference. We really liked that direction. You know, again, I'm super pumped with this bike. You know, I rode a 12 all last year, a 450, and this bike is so much better. It's not even in the same ballpark. I mean, you know, that 12 did some great things, but it was just an old, heavy, big motorcycle. This is state of the art. It's light, the motor has a light feel, it's fast, suspension works. You know, unless you've been under a rock all year and haven't seen what Dungey's done on this bike, you know, you're crazy to think that it's nothing but right up there with the best of them, for sure. It's gonna do good in the shootout this year, I think.
Yeah.